Hello guys, welcome to this VueJS 3 full tutorial, the progressive JavaScript framework. I'm excited to have you here. Hello guys, welcome to your very first lesson in this VueJS 3 full tutorial. And once again, I'm really excited to have you here. Before anything, let us look at what exactly VueJS is. Now, what is VueJS? VueJS, also pronounced as Vue, is a JavaScript or TypeScript framework for building user interfaces. It is built on top of standard HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and can also be used to build standalone widgets. Now, Vue.js are used to create fast, dynamic, and data-driven websites and SPAs. So, first, let's look at what exactly SPAs are, because I'm very sure you coming here to learn Vue, you might have heard of SPA, or maybe while working with other frameworks such as React, you've heard of the word SPA, which also stands for single page application. Now, SPAs are websites that only load a single HTML page from the server. So when you visit such website, only a single HTML page is requested from the and sent from the server. And then the framework and Vue in this case then intercept any change of route, maybe to the home page, from the home page to the contact page, and then dynamically show the necessary content, the necessary stuffs on each of those routes. Now, these websites have a better and faster user experience, and it feels like you are on one page, and that is why the name SPA, single page application. Now, let's look at how regular websites actually work. Now, you have your client side here, your browser or your mobile phone. Now, you send a request, okay, to a particular server. Now, the server sends back a response. We know this to be the basic of how the web works. Now, the server sends back website files such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, maybe images or any other files. And then let's say you you are from the home page, you decide to go to the about page. You make another request to the web browser, to the server right here from your web browser, and it also sends back the same files, different files for that particular web page, which would also be in form of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, let's say you go to the contact page also, you make another request to the web server, and then the web server sends you the particular files for that particular page. And let's say if it's an e-commerce website, you have a shop page, and then you make another request to the web server. Okay, the web server takes in your request, and then it sends back the appropriate website files in form of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now we can see this form of back and forth movement between the browser and the server. So you make a request every time you need to get a particular thing, which can be good and fine in some cases, but then it tends to be that you make a request every single time, and depending on the size of the files sent back, you have to wait for that to be loaded. Now let's look at how SPAs actually work, and in this case specifically Vue website. Now when you as a client, you go to your web browser or to your PC, your mobile phone, and then you make a request to a Vue website. Now when the server you make the initial page request and the server gets that particular request, now it sends you back an empty HTML page. Now this HTML page has no content whatsoever, and then it actually intercepts, Vue actually intercepts every other route changes, every other thing that you need to do on that particular website, and it takes care of it and renders dynamic content based on it. The Vue JavaScript bundles actually takes all of the necessary stuffs through JavaScript and inject it into that particular web page. So let's say you need to go to a particular page, a particular route, maybe you need to go to your dashboard. Vue basically renders everything right there on the client side without making another request to the server. Now, one more thing, let's look at Vue widgets and Vue website. Now, Vue can be used to create different parts of your website. Now, in this case, they are referred to as Vue widgets. Now, you can have your website built with any other technology, and then just a small part of that particular website is being controlled by Vue. Now, that aspect that is being controlled by Vue, they are called widgets. Now, the full power, however, is achieved through a complete Vue website where you can use Vue to take care of everything that is happening on your particular website or on your particular web application. Now, Vue website allows us to tap fully into the features and the goodies Vue brings for us. So let's look at why you should learn Vue. So why learn Vue.js at all? Now, someone once said Vue is like the sex chat between React and Angular, and I couldn't agree with that more. You see, Vue actually combines some of the best features of both worlds when it comes to things like data binding, using of props, and a whole lot of things like that. So Vue combines both features from React and Angular, and I found it to be a very amazing framework. Now, when it comes to some things such as data binding, etc. in Angular, I found them to be a bit simpler when it comes to Vue.js and some other concepts like that. Okay, now another thing is Vue is very easy to learn. I usually tell people, okay, after maybe when they want to move into a into a framework, they should choose maybe something like React because it is very easy to learn. But after working with Vue for a while, I know that Vue actually is very and super easy to learn, and plus it has great documentation. If you go to React documentation, React's website for example, the documentation is not so great and comprehensive. Okay, but unlike Vue, everything you need to learn, almost everything you're going to need to get started with Vue, it's right there in their documentation. Number two, Vue actually feels familiar, given the fact that Vue code is built on top of standard HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It actually feels more familiar to you because you are basically writing HTML. Unlike when you're writing React, everything is basically JavaScript, JSX. So something might not seem, the idea that everything is JavaScript is something that does not seem pleasing to some developers, and that is one of the things that Vue actually makes good on. Okay, another thing is Vue is actually really fast. It is very, very fast, and then it's, as I said earlier, it combines the best of React and Angular, and it can be very scalable. You can build any type of enterprise project, enterprise software with Vue.js. And another thing is Vue is relatively mature and in demand, and might not be as mature as maybe Angular or React, but Vue is actually really mature, and it's something that has been for relatively a long time now. And another reason why you should learn Vue.js, it is great for your career. Now, Vue.js actually has a good job demand in the industry, and it's actually a really great option. So what are we going to learn throughout the series of this course? Now, the first thing we are going to go through are the basics. We're going to go through the basics of Vue.js. We're going to look at things such as components, props, states, events, directories, and so on and so forth. And then we're going to go into Vue, making use of the Vue Router. We're going to look at dynamic routes. We're going to look at page title, dynamic page titles. We're going to look at fetching of data in your Vue application. Okay, we're going to look at styling option. Now we're going to look at global styles, scope styles, and in particular Tailwind CSS. So I hope throughout this course you're going to learn a bit about Tailwind CSS also, and then we're going to go on and learn some advanced concepts such as reactivity, composition API, which was introduced in Vue 3, and many other things. Okay, before we dive right deep into the course, I'm going to be showing you a preview of what we're going to be working towards. And the goal of this course is going to be build this app we have right here. And we have the URL right here. You can actually check it out. So it's basically a recipe application. And when you look at it, you can see we have a recipe of the moment, which is gotten from a particular API, and then scrolling down we have popular flows, and then we have featured recipe here. And this web app is basically a UI design I implemented right here. I got on Dribble. Okay, so we have this right here, and then if I should come to about page, now we can see the about page right here. So okay, and this is a bit about this particular project. And then before I go to the recipes page, let me show you the other pages we have. Okay, the download pages. Okay, we have the contact page. Okay, and then we have the recipe page. And then we have still have the recipe of the moment showing right here. And what if, okay, this is not loading? All right, we have featured recipes right here. Okay, what if we decide to click on this and select another recipe? Let's see, another category. Okay, that works. It's load all the food, all the recipes from that particular category. And then let's see if I should click on this category right here. It's going to take me to this page. Okay, I'm viewing the chicken category. Okay, we have some description and tags right here, and I'm going to see, okay, different recipe in that category. What if I click on a particular category? Let's see recipe details. Okay, and then we can see it brings us to this recipe detail page, and then we have all these ingredients here. We have the instructions right here, and then we have the category here. Okay, we have tags, and then we can also watch these on YouTube. Okay, and then all these information. And the last feature I think is, okay, we have things such as I can search here. If I search for, let's say, chicken, and then we see this loading. Okay, we have chicken Andy, chicken kongi, tandoori chicken. If I should click on that, it's going to redirect me here, and then we can see all of these information right here. Okay, so that's a preview of what we're going to actually build. And let's look at some of the tools that you're going to need. So the first thing is going to be Visual Studio Code. Okay, this is going to be our code of choice that we're going to be making use to write our codes in while building our application and while learning about Vue.js. And secondly, this is my personal recommendation, though you might not follow suit, might not follow along, that's totally fine. I would like you to download Firefox developer browser, and this is not the regular Firefox browser but a browser made specifically for developers, and it has tons of features that I make use of, which makes building, debugging, a lot of things very much easier. If you decide to stick with another browser such as Chrome, that's totally fine, but whether you're on Chrome or on Firefox, I want you to download a particular add-on or extension for Chrome. So once you go to the Firefox store or Chrome store, search for Vue Dev Tools. Okay, and that should bring it out here. Okay, we see some couple of options here. Just click on Vue Dev Tools, and I would like you to install it. Okay, currently I have it installed, and that is why it's bringing this remove button out. And once you've done all that, okay, we are good to go. And also one last thing. Now, if you come here to my GitHub profile right here under repositories, now you're going to see the project, the completed project right here that is being hosted on Vercel right here. Okay, and this is the complete code for it. You can go through it. Though one thing I want you to note is this was actually built using TypeScript, but not to worry, this course will mainly focus on JavaScript. Okay, so another thing is that the projects, the course files for this particular course is actually going to be uploaded in a GitHub repo I'm going to create along as I'm creating this course. So stay tuned, and also try follow me on GitHub so you can stay updated. And without any further ado, let's dive right in, and I'll see you in the next lesson.